Hello everyone. I thought I'd make a little video about my progress with rucking and how I've used it to lose weight and get fitter and turn things around from where I was. So last year, probably 9 months ago now, I'd say. In the past, I'd done a bit of rucking before, and I'd already bought a rucking rucksack and had some weight plates, and I knew it was good for me, but I hadn't really taken it seriously. And this time I decided that when I did rucking, I found it easy to recover from. Like, I didn't get the same pains in my joints. So I thought, let me start with rucking and I'll build the weight up gradually. And my goal really was just to be consistent with rucking and use that as a starting point to turn things around. Because as I said, every time I used to run, I used to get trouble with my knees, trouble with my ankles. I wasn't being consistent ever, and I wasn't eating well. And I was addicted to eating biscuits every night, whole packs of biscuits, not in control of my diet. Because you just get busy with life when you've got kids and a family and a job and a dog to walk and everything else, and a house to renovate. A lot going on in my life at the time, and I let myself go. I wasn't looking after myself. I wasn't prioritizing any kind of fitness for myself. And I thought rucking is a way that I can actually try and bring in a habit that I should be able to stick with, because there's no excuses with rucking. Like, it's just walking with weights in your backpack, and there's always opportunities to walk. I just need to fit that into my life. And it was probably the thing that I had the most chance of sticking with. Rucking's just walking with weights in a backpack, so it's really simple. There's no excuses for not really doing it. You just leave a backpack ready with your weights in, and whenever you've got a spare moment or somewhere to be, you just put it on and do the walk. So for me, it was something that I thought I've got the most chance of sticking with this. It was kind of the easiest path to take in terms of something that would enable me to get fitter and improve my overall health. It's easy to start, it's easy to repeat. And I'd done it before and I knew I could recover well from it. So I started off doing 1 hour walks 2 to 3 times a week on my lunch breaks. And in the beginning, I would just do the walks with no weight, just to get the habit of going out and doing a walk. And then I moved on to putting 5 kilos in my backpack. And then after some time, moved on to 10 kilos. And then I think I jumped from 10 kilos up to the 25 kilo weight plate that I carry now. I guess the thing with rucking is, like I keep saying, it's so simple that it's hard to find excuses not to do it. You've got a backpack, you've got weights in it, you just need to put it on and go for a walk. But what I found, once I built the habit up, started consistently going out, built up to taking that 25 kilos out with me, which was heavy, and it was kind of, you do have to endure through the suffering of carrying that weight around for an hour. But just by sticking to it, including it in my daily routine of when I would work from home, being able to just go out on my lunch break and do that walk, which I would roughly do just over 5 kilometers in an hour. I found that my endurance did increase and my legs did get stronger and my cardiovascular health improved. And just in general, I felt more robust and more capable of doing other exercises as well. My knees stopped hurting, ankles all felt good, carrying the weight on my back, everything felt strong and solid, and that improved my confidence for thinking that I'm getting fit again and that I can probably handle other stuff, other exercises. Yeah, so around 6 months, I'd say, back into rucking consistently, that's when I felt like I actually feel like someone who's getting fit and someone who trains now, rather than someone who was just starting. And a boxing class opened up in my local area, and I used to box as a teenager. And I probably would have never have gone back to boxing if I hadn't have started rucking. Rucking is what gave me a kind of foundation in being fit again and feeling like I could go back to boxing and I wouldn't look out of place. So I did go back to boxing, and I started training twice a week in a boxing class as well, on top of my rucking. And then I also started lifting weights again. And for a long time, that was it, rucking, weights and boxing. And I was always put off by running because I used to get the bad knees from it. But I built so much strength in my knees through rucking, and I stopped having the issues of like every now and again my knees going bad going up the stairs or something, that I thought, why not try running again? So then eventually 4 months ago at Christmas, I started doing 5k park runs on a Saturday as well. And when I started that, I was running them in 27 minutes something, and now I'm down to 20 minutes and 30 seconds. So big improvement there, like getting much fitter, running fast on a difficult course that's got quite a lot of hills. So I haven't had any trouble with my knees. I feel solid all the time, and I push myself quite hard, and that all came from rucking. So even though I'm doing boxing, lifting weights and running, I see rucking as the most important bit to it, because without rucking I wouldn't have done any of them again. And that's why I will always keep it in my routine, and I see it as like the foundation that will always be there no matter what other things I might drop. I'll always keep the habit of rucking because it just fits in so well with other things. And even if running leaves me needing some recovery time, or boxing and weights, I need recovery from those. Even when I need recovery, I still go out and do rucking, or I'll do rucking on the same day as those things, because I don't find that rucking tires me out, but it just doesn't have the same impact on the joints. So I'm always able to kind of do it and fit it in wherever I can possible. I just see it as an add-on. I mentioned a little bit earlier about how bad my diet was as well, and I didn't really make much attempts to change it in the beginning because I found it so hard to give up the foods that I like. And every time I would think about starting a diet, it would make me sad to think that I had to give up eating biscuits or, cakes and treats and sugary stuff that I like. I like eating chocolate in the evening, and I liked eating a whole pack of biscuits with a cup of tea. Just really bad habits, but definitely kind of attached to food and can't let go of it. So I didn't do anything drastic with the food. I just decided to build the habit with the exercise first. And back then I thought that was going to be enough. But you really can't. You can make improvements, but you can't drastically change your weight. You can always out-eat your exercise very easily. But when you're rucking for an hour of 25 kilos, you do have to kind of mentally push through and endure suffering for that hour. But you can still think, and I used to contemplate a lot while I would be out walking about discipline and motivation and why am I doing this? Because when you're carrying that weight, you do kind of wonder why you're doing it, and you kind of need to know why. And that reflection, I think, really helped with changing things with the diet in the end, because I eventually came to the conclusion that I needed to apply the same kind of discipline to my diet, but that it would be hard to jump straight into it, and I needed to build up slowly, the same way I did with adding weight to the backpack and building this more fitness focused lifestyle. And I did it by changing small things week on week. So in the beginning I was eating my regular diet, but maybe I would swap one particular thing I was eating daily, like that biscuit in the evening or whole pack of biscuits. I would swap that for some fruit, for example, and then another week would go by and I would try and improve on that. So maybe I focused on not having peanut butter on toast for breakfast every day with loads of butter, and I would change it for something like an omelette, and keep it like that, try and build consistency. And I just keep making improvements week on week, changing my lunch to be this, changing a snack to be that, cutting things back and tweaking it. But I would wait for it to be a habit that I could stick to, and some things I would chuck it away after a week thinking I'm not enjoying this. I can't eat that for breakfast. But I eventually landed on like a very high protein pancake that I eat for breakfast that's made with egg whites, egg yolks, and I mix it with a tapioca starch and make a really high protein pancake. I have to make that for lunch and for breakfast. Lunch I'll do it savoury, breakfast I'll do it with like a fake syrup on top with no sugar in. And I'll make like a savoury one at lunch and add meat to it and make it like a wrap. And then for dinner I'll just have like a steak or salmon with loads of vegetables. Gradually cut the carbs out, stopped having rice with my dinner as well. And in the evening I'll have a pot of cottage cheese before bed, and I'll have like some high protein yogurts throughout the day if I need a snack. Getting around 200 grams of protein in a day now. The calories, I don't count calories, but I have occasionally tracked it just to see, and it's roughly 2,200 or so at the moment. But yeah, I don't track it. I don't know 100% what it is day on day. But what I know is the weight gradually started coming down when I locked into this kind of way of eating that I've been able to settle on and build this habit. Like I don't see myself as someone who eats junk food or processed food anymore. I've just gradually moved towards a more nutrient dense diet that works for me. And that took a long time to shift that. So if anyone is like wondering about changing their diet, I think kind of small gradual improvements and know that it's going to take a long time kind of works. Don't try to be perfect in the beginning. Just build your way into a good diet week by week, small changes, and eventually you look at what you're eating and you've basically become someone else. I never thought I could be the sort of person that eats the diet that I eat now. I just didn't think it was possible back then. I really got onto, I would say, a good diet. I worked my way into that good diet that I'm on now. The last 6 months I've been doing a lot of training, boxing, weightlifting, and park runs since Christmas. And then it was probably about 3 months before that I was just doing the rucking to get back into fitness and turn things around for me. Since I started, I've lost 8.5 kilos now. I started around 91 something, and now I hover between 82.5 and 83. I've stopped losing weight for the last 3 weeks. I feel like I've hit my maintenance, but that's fine. I'm probably around 15% body fat, 16% body fat. Ideally, I'd like to maybe get down to like 12. But I'm not rushing to get there. I'm just kind of waiting to find my maintenance and know that I definitely have found it, and then I'll see what I'll do. I'm quite happy to maybe stay at maintenance and just try to recomposition, add some muscle, lose some fat slowly over time. I don't want to push too hard with my diet because it's working for me and I'm finding it easy to stick to, so I don't want to aggressively diet and mess things up. I've got more control over my food now. I've got more control over the exercise that I do and having the motivation to go out and do it. I've found ways to fit everything into my life that's convenient for me. And you've got to make it easy. Like, the reason I can do weightlifting is because I used to have a gym in my garage. That's okay, but then you're always having to work out in your own time. And my garage is pretty cold in the winter as well, so it wasn't really working for me, and I was finding it a struggle and often skipping workouts. In the end, I decided to join the gym in my office, which I'm lucky to have. That works for me now because 3 days a week I'm in London. I never skip a workout because it's what I do on my lunch break. It's in the building and it's easy. It fits into my life, so it stays. The rucking I do on my lunch breaks 2 days a week when I'm at home, working from home. And I typically only do them if it's not raining now. So I'm doing so much other stuff that I can afford to like miss days without it being a big deal. So if it's not raining and the weather's okay, I go out rucking on my lunch break. And boxing pretty much always happens 2 nights a week. when I'm working from home, I have my boxing class in the evening. And then parkrun is the same thing. It's every Saturday, but only when it's not raining. If it's raining, I don't want to do it, so I stay at home. And amongst all of that, some weeks have a perfect week where I do everything and it's exhausting, and then other weeks I missed the run on Saturday or I missed a ruck because of the rain. So it works for me. So really the message I'm trying to get across is that the discipline from rucking really carried over into everything else, into my diet and into all the other sports and fitness that I am doing at the moment. Rucking got me being more comfortable with sitting with discomfort and challenging myself and doing harder things. And if you're more willing to challenge yourself, eventually you'll crave it, and then you'll push yourself into those uncomfortable, difficult workouts. And I've built a good mindset now for being able to push myself when I'm in a boxing class or push myself when I'm on a 5K run. So yeah, it's been a big mindset shift as well as changes to my body as well. So yeah, I'm still rucking every chance I can get. I'd probably do more of it if I didn't like doing other things as well, but I really love boxing as well. I like lifting weights and I like running again. So I have to keep rucking in. I wish I could do more of it. And I think one day when my kids grow up and I've got more free time, rucking will be something that I'll be adding in, like extra long rucks on the weekend. And I'll definitely be doing more of it because it fits in really well with being able to go out for a walk with your wife or family, walk the dog. You can just get that extra hard workout by putting a backpack in. You don't always have to go as hard as possible and take 25 kilos out. Some days you could just take maybe 10 or 5 or whatever you feel like, but it's always a good way of just adding some weight in there and challenging yourself in any situation. So rucking for me was the foundation that everything else is built on, and that's why I keep it in there. I just wanted to share why I started rucking, why I keep doing rucking, and why I think it's important. And I hope other people give it a try as well, because for me, it's what led to everything turning around and me getting back on track at age, I'm 37 now, I was 36 when I started, but hopefully I am going to keep getting fitter and fitter.